we've seen you make so many plays behind the line of scrimmage, both in the blitz game and tackles for loss. Do you feel like this defense kind of suits that skill set a little bit to come up and make a tackle?
Yeah, I feel like all three defensive coordinators we've had here, I feel like I was able to, make plays in the backfield, whether it's like short game or like behind the line of scrimmage. But yeah, I feel like this defense, we're blitzing a little more. So you can say that a little bit, yeah.
What's something you appreciate in a few years in that you didn't as a rookie about what it takes to win or to survive in this league? That either the work or I don't know, if there's anything that.
Yeah, most definitely it's the work, and it's like a mental game too, because it's a long season. So you might kind of start off hot, and if you let that get to your head, the middle of the season it might kind of start shaking up, and when you look back on it, you're not even gonna notice it. But the things you were doing at the beginning, you kind of get away from that when you start getting deeper into the season and you lose your focus and stuff like that. So I feel like that's one thing I've learned from since I've been in the league for my rookie year. That's what it really takes to win, just as a whole team, just staying more focused and doing the things that y'all were doing at the beginning of the season that were making y'all win, not changing that once you get deeper into the season and kind of get complacent.
My main goal is just gaining trust with this coaching staff, showing them that I come out every day, I work hard, I get better, and that you can trust me on Sunday. That's what I want to do. I want to gain trust.
I need to know, how do you go from a college receiver to an NFL pass rusher?
You know, it's a crazy story. I want to make a movie one day, definitely. In my junior year, I played receiver my first 2 years. We got a new coaching staff that came in at Prairie View, and the DC and the defensive line coach saw something in me, and they saw something in me, and they came and met with me and said, hey, we want you to play D-line. And at first, it was a crazy request. I didn't know how I felt about it, but they started talking about opportunities, the NFL, and you know what? I was like, I have nothing to lose. I don't want to look back on this and say, I wish I would have tried that. And I would probably say to this day, it's probably the best decision I've ever made.
Were you a good receiver?
I was fast, but
The hands were good?
the hands were okay. The speed was there. The route running was subpar. I would say that I wasn't probably going to get an NFL opportunity at receiver, and I will admit that.
So, obviously, they saw something and it was a blessing in disguise. What was the transition for you like in the NFL, learning the intricacies of being an edge player?
The main thing that I learned right away, instantly, was that my athletic ability can only get me so far. I need to learn on the techniques. I need to get better technically. I feel like in college, I made a lot of plays just off my pure athleticism. And when I got to the league, I realized these players are better. I'm fast, but they're fast too. And so that was the main thing in the transition, for sure.
I know you basically announced that this is your last
100%.
Why are you so certain that this is your last season?
Well, body feels good. I won't lie to you. Lost my grandfather this past off season. I lost him in February, so it's been a blessing to be able to do this for 10. I mean, especially becoming undrafted. You know, there's a lot of reflection this off season. I got to go home, spend time with both of them, watch my grandmother really be there for them. You know, both of us be in the room with them. It's hard to see that, I won't lie to you. And it made me really sit back and think, you know, when I first started this journey in Houston a long, long time ago, 10 was the number. And to be honest, man, I put getting married, I put children, I put a lot of things on the back burner to make sure that this was, you know, the main thing. And I mean, I'm not saying that I won't forever love football, but I'm 32 now. It's like, you know, yeah, you want to play as long as you can, but losing my grandfather showed me, I mean, tomorrow's never promised. And that's the first one in my immediate circle that I lost. So it really, excuse my language, but it changed a lot of shit in my mind. So we'll enjoy this for sure. But, I mean, I'm kind of at peace with it. Yes, sir.
Does it, knowing that this is the last go-around, does it make it any more special?
No, not at all. I mean, honestly, man, you know me by now. I approach things day by day. I mean, it's going to be the same today that it's been when I was 22 years old. Today just happened to be the right side. Tomorrow I'll probably go back to left. I mean, that's the only thing that really sits on my mind. You know, whatever we install tonight, keep the main thing the main thing. But I truly enjoy everyone here. You know, I've been a lot of places. You know, Houston was phenomenal. Cleveland was dope. Tennessee was cool. Being here made me feel like I was in Houston again with such a good room, young guys. It's wild. They call me the OG in there now. It blows my mind because I still look the same, to be completely real. But it's been fun, man. It's been fun.
So I know for him it doesn't impact the way he was up there these last few days, but now that is the security and this whole thing is off the shoulder, and now you can 100% concentrate. What do you think that does?
I mean, from his standpoint, it's probably amazing. Like you just said, having someone tell you, here's $53 million, here's the keys to our organization, that's a beautiful thing. Like, from a quarterback's perspective, I'll never be there. But at the same time, knowing that you're the guy and knowing that an organization believes in you, that's probably one of the best feelings in the world. And at the same time, having generational wealth for your family, I can't speak for Tua, but to know that for me, I mean, that my kids would be okay. And that's a beautiful thing. So, yes, sir.
Apologize if you messed already, but Chop Robinson off the edge. What have you seen from him so far?
Chop's good, man. You can really and truly see Chop's not the longest. I mean, he's more of a smaller, compactful rusher. But at the same time, I can see why he had so much success at Penn State. I mean, he gets into you, hit coming off the line. The speed off the line is very, very good. For a lot of young rushers, they have to really and truly learn our ranges, learn how we're going to block them. Because a lot of tackles in college, they're going to have but I'm going to show you 3, 4, 5 sets every play. You saw one set from me, I'm going to switch it up. I might throw a left hand at you if I'm at left tackle, might go with the right hand. Might hit you with independent hands, it just depends. So, like, to build that Rolodex in his mind, you always see with young rushers, I mean, it takes time for them to learn us as tackles in the NFL. But you can definitely see why Chop is what he is, because his get-off is phenomenal.
Is he asking you guys questions after?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you see him out there, Chop seems real quiet, real to himself, but Chop asks all the time. Like, when we break down film in the meeting room, he's always picking your brain, always wants to know. So, yeah, since they call me OG now, I'm here to spread knowledge if they need it.
As the rookie on your unit, Patrick Paul, what about him?
Yeah, Big Pat's going to be the real deal. I mean, Big Pat, that's a mammoth of a man. I played in Houston for my first 4, so I'm very familiar with U of H. Seeing Pat come in here, one thing that you'll notice about Pat right away, intellectually gifted. And in our line of work, especially offensive line-wise, how things change at the drop of a dime, you want to have that. I try to tell Pat all the time, try to slow it down the best you can. Get to the line, see your triangle, read your keys, see what the stance is. Always remember in the back of your mind what they hit you with before. I mean, once we start playing the preseason games, start building your library on rushers, how they rush you. I mean, Pat's got some of the best length I've ever seen in my life. So it's like, for him to have those type of arms and that type of body, it's going to be really, really good for Pat when the time comes. But we've all been there as a rookie. It takes time for it to slow down in your mind. But, I mean, I love Pat. That's my dog.
How quick is Wilson looking off the ball? How quick is Jeff looking?
Oh, Jeff is, Hefe's Hefe. I mean, when he gets the ball, I've known Jeff Wilson for a long time. The way he runs the ball, the way he's so angry, I mean, that's my dog. Whether I'm with the first group some days, second group the next days, whenever I see Jeff in there, I know what time it is. I know what time it is every time.
Kendall, what was that process like for you? You talked about Chop and kind of him learning how to catalog,
Yeah.
and you talked about Patrick. Everybody's different, but when you reflect back on your own career, what was that process like of getting comfortable with your own routine?
Well, I'll say this. The guy that I was with in Houston was Coach O'Brien. And the way we do things here is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it was very, very different when I was in Houston. That's a New England style. That's everybody's there 5-10 minutes early. The phone was put on no phones in the meeting room. If it came on in the meeting room, you were dead scared. Like, it was just a different environment. Plus, it's a different state of the world. It's a different time. So it's like, from my perspective, I mean, they taught us how to be pros very, very early. I was picking Dwayne Brown's mind, Derek Newton, Ben Jones. I can go down Isuafilo, Brandon Brooks. Like, I always want to see their routines. Then at the same time, I had the Vince Wilforks, Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watts, Brian Cushing's across the line for me, to name a few. So it's like, and I was fortunate enough to practice against them very early with the ones, so I had to learn very fast. And it's like, when you break down your film and when you talk to them, you learn, okay, you may have had a good day today, but it has nothing to do with tomorrow. You have to build your Rolodex. You have to see what worked. You have to see what didn't. And you kind of start the process all over again tomorrow. So for me, it was all about, stacking good days, but being very real with yourself. Because, I mean, the film doesn't lie. So, yes, sir.